Please welcome Steve Case, co-founder of AOL and chairman of Revolution, and the 4 winning entrepreneurs. The Obvious Ventures Award winner, a $50,000 cash prize, Stephanie Speirs from Solstice.
And finally, Steph, on your passion on energy, where'd that come from?
My father was a failed entrepreneur, and so my whole life I never wanted to be one.
Oh.
I'd only seen the bad parts of it, and because the business failed, we actually grew up on welfare. And because we are on welfare, my mom eventually left my father and raised us on her own. And so I spent my entire life watching my mom struggle to pay the bills, including the electricity bills. And I came to realize that sometimes being an entrepreneur is not about starting your own thing. It's about looking around in the world, seeing there's a need and a gap to be filled, and no one else is filling it, and feeling that urgency that you have to do it because it needs to be done. And so I was really lucky to have an incredible co-founder. His name is Steve Moylan, and he's not here, but he just turned 30, so everyone wish Steve happy birthday for me.
Pretty good birthday present, being on the main stage.
And an incredible team at Solstice that it makes it a pleasure to work every day there, and it's work that doesn't feel like work. And we are trying to make sure that everyone in America can get solar power regardless of how much money they earn, regardless of what type of roof they have, and hopefully we'll get there.
Terrific. Let's kick it off with Stephanie, who won the prize from Obvious. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Thank you, Steve. My name is Steph Speirs, and I'm a co-founder of an organization called Solstice. So right now in America, solar is cheap enough that it can save everyone in America money on their electricity bill. Thank you. There's just one problem, though, is that most people in America cannot get solar because they're a renter, or there's a tree covering their roof, or their roof faces the wrong way, or they're low income. So 80% of America cannot install solar on top of their roof and are locked out of the market. So Solstice has a solution, and we call it community solar. Community solar means you don't have to install anything on your roof. You can buy a portion of a neighborhood shared solar farm, and you can switch to solar that way. And there's no upfront cost, and you save 10% off your electricity bill every single month. And the fact of the matter is we're never going to make a dent on climate change until we get more people affordable solar power. So thank you so much to Obvious Ventures. They invest in world-positive companies that try to tackle the world's biggest problems and do it sustainably and profitably. So thank you so much for this honor. We're imagining an America that's filled with solar arrays, and we hope you can join us in doing that. Thank you.
Terrific. So another purpose of this Global Entrepreneurship Summit is to not just meet people, but figure out ways to connect with people that can lead to partnerships or can lead to investment or other kinds of things. So I'd like to quickly go around and say, if you had one wish, one hope in terms of what you'd hope comes out of being here this week and certainly being here this morning, and maybe one thing that people in this audience might be able to be helpful on, what would that, if you got like a magic ticket and that dream could come true, what would that be? Is it investment? Is it a partnership? Is it help with people? Is it help with customers? Is it publicity? It could be anything, but if you picked one thing, what would it be? And then hopefully everybody in the audience will think how they can be helpful in making those dreams come true.
Well, it bears saying that we too are raising a seed round, and thank you to Obvious Ventures for investing in us. But I think if I'm talking about equity, the more important equity that I think I would love people to walk away with is this idea of energy equity. And it's this idea that we're going to see in our lifetimes a dramatic change in the way we get electricity. For the first time in probably over 100 years, we will get our electricity differently in our generation than we have in the history of America. And the clean energy transition will happen. The question is whether it will happen inclusively. The question is whether everyone will get to benefit from the green economy. And so, yes, we're raising a seed round, but more importantly, please know that energy equity is an issue in this country, and you can help us, but you can help a lot of other good organizations that are working on it, and we have to make this green transition happen as inclusively as possible.
Terrific. One more question before this. I have some final thoughts. I want to turn the tables a little bit. If you were trying to give advice to the people in the audience, as an entrepreneur, the experiences you had, your story, your journey, what would your bit of advice be to the entrepreneurs in this room, and indeed the entrepreneurs watching all over the world? Steph, why don't we start with you?
Thanks, Steve. My favorite advice that President Obama has given interns at the White House is, it is more important to do something than want to be something. And I take that every day in the work. I think sometimes it can be easy to overemphasize the entrepreneur, and everyone, it's very, hyped up right now. It's very chic right now to be an entrepreneur. But really what makes organizations survive or fail are the teams and the people in it. And so while there is an overemphasis on entrepreneurs, what we should be more focusing on is employee number 1, employee number 2, employee number 3, 4, 5, and making sure we recruit great people and that we retain them and keep the organization operationally functional. And so I would say that, as a lot of people have given advice on this stage, like, don't give up, and that is true. We have been rejected from so many things. I can't even tell you. The CV of failure is pages long. But focus on the team, and if you focus on the work, then it really does. Everything else just kind of happens and falls into place if you focus on these 2 things.
Please join me in thanking these 4 terrific entrepreneurs that are representing the future of entrepreneurship. Thank you. Thank you all.